Pennsylvania Monument. Looking straight across at the monument in the far distance, that is the statue of Robert E. Lee, the Virginia Memorial on Seminary Ridge. Basically a spot, not the spot, but along the spot where the Confederates marched during Pickett's charge from that tree line. We are basically looking from from east to west for the most part in this direction. And then panning around to the south, in the distance, you will see the pointed hilltop with the little gap in the top, this big round top. And just to its left, you can see the bare spot, that's a little round top. Just beneath those, on the ground, that is the Abraham Trossel Farm, where one of the more famous pictures of the war were taken of the dead horses. That, of course, is the first Minnesota monument that I talked about in a previous video. Looking back from east to west, that is along Cemetery Ridge, basically paralleling the road and of course the monument line. The big large red barn is the Kadori Farm. I believe that is a bed and breakfast now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yay, thank you. So cool.
Looking back in the direction of Cemetery Ridge to the west, and we will pan back around here, going back to the north, just for completeness sake. Again, that's the Spangler Barn. In the distance, it was one of the main battlefield field hospitals, not the only one. It was just convenient for the Union Corps, obviously being behind Union lines. And somewhat out of artillery range for guns, although the Confederate artillery barrage during Pickett's charge overshot most of the targets on Cemetery Ridge, and actually a lot of it landed back over on the back side here, so there weren't too many safe places on this battlefield unless you were in New York City. Much closer, and it was getting dangerous. We're now pretty much looking to the east. From behind the battle lines. Sometimes it gets forgotten about or overlooked, but they fought major cavalry battles over on that side of the field actually on July 3rd. Jeb Stuart's cavalry and units famously led by George Armstrong Custer fought in the fields just on the east side. Back around, just as pretty high. It's a nice little walk, especially to come up the stairs to get here, especially when you get a little bit older. Wears on you a bit more. That is a panorama of the Gettysburg Battlefield from the Pennsylvania Monument. And of course, we're back to where we started at the first Minnesota Monument, the Trossel Farm, and there in the distance, the Round Top.